2017 was absolutely wonderful for film. We got a Marvel sequel that we asked for, a Jordan Peele film that rocked, a remake of Stephen King's It that was horrifyingly wonderful, even a DC film that was watchable and inspiring for women everywhere. We even got an animated film that was visually beautiful and a wonderful tribute to artist Vincent van Gogh. You know how great we did? A China movie finally made it into the box office. That's right, finally! Something outside of the U.S. made it into the box office. I think the director made such an accomplishment right there, and it's good for him. And speaking of accomplishments, guess what comes out? The Oscars. The Oscars goes out to the best films of all time. And in honor of them, I'm going to do my top 5 best films I've seen in theaters. Now, honorable mentions goes out to June, Life is Better When You Share the Ride, and Here's the Plan. Both are incredible short films that are online and you should watch them. Along with some films that came out last year but I saw in January of 2017, which is The Founder and A Monster Calls. Both are incredibly great films. And with that out of the way, here are my top 5 best films that I've seen in theaters of 2017. Number 5. Power Rangers.
What? You chose Power Rangers over a Marvel and DC film? How could you do that? You make an
50 Shades
mistake.
Why would you choose Power Rangers? Come on! You stupid idiot!
Calm down, everyone. I know I put this over a lot of Marvel and DC films, but let me explain to you why. For you see, Marvel and DC have it easy. They already established their characters, we already know who they are, and we are very well aware of their cinematic universe. Power Rangers, on the other hand, is a challenge because they have to introduce the Rangers, take a grittier reboot, and connect to both new and old fans alike. Thankfully, they succeeded, and they added an extra layer of including an autistic Ranger and a gay Ranger without promoting it in front of your face. This also makes it the first autistic and LGBT superheroes. Take that, Marvel and DC! One thing I will address is when people complained about the Power Rangers not being in their suits until the third act, which is an understandable complaint. I didn't mind, however, because I thought the character development was overall spectacular, especially in the bonfire scene, where the characters are discussing their life problems, their secrets, and it's filled with a variety of emotion, similar to the Breakfast Club scene when they were discussing their problems. It makes it relatable to the audience, and that's what I love about this film. Overall, there have been a lot of great superhero films this year. Guardians of the Galaxy was awesome, Justice League was decent, but my support will always be... Go, go, Power Rangers! Number 4. Blade Runner 2049. Admittedly, a few months back I got to see the director's cut during a story class in college. And the more I thought about it, the more I enjoyed the movie. So seeing a sequel, it was going to be a challenge to compare to the original. And surprisingly, I really loved it. The visuals and the color schemes throughout this movie were overall beautiful, crafted, and given off a grand scheme of the world. Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford give off a phenomenal performance as Kay and Deckard that give off some great action scenes, along with Ana de Armas as Joy being a great supporting character. My only small issue was the villain, aka Love, not being as memorable as the previous villain, Roy. Aside from that, though, this is one of those rare films that left me guessing on what was going to happen, and I was genuinely surprised by the plot twist. It had me going on second guessing throughout the entire movie, and that is just what makes this film great.
Number 3. The Lego Batman movie.
If you guys don't know by now, I'm a huge Batman fan, and seeing this film was amazing as a giant tribute to Batman. And it really is shown here. The animation is overall stunning. The jokes are incredibly hilarious. And the coolest thing was, it combined all the things people loved about Batman throughout the years, starring the incredible dark and grim tone of Batman Today, and the colorful and lighter tone of Robin. The cast of Batman villains were also great, going down to the obscurities such as Mime and Zodiac Master of all villains. It was fun seeing the plot twist of characters through other series such as the Daleks, Sauron, Gremlins, and Agent Smith, now available in each set for LEGO Dimensions. In all seriousness, though, I am still mad that the Oscars didn't choose the LEGO Batman movie. This is the second LEGO movie that got snubbed by the Oscars, yet Boss Baby was completely okay. Well, then again, Disney needs to win that Oscar, so it has to have the crap in the other competition. It's kind of like how Kids' Choice Awards has to make sure that SpongeBob wins Best Cartoon. But I guess aside from that, though, this was a great tribute to the entire history of Batman. And it overall probably is my favorite Batman movie. And even today, I guess that means that this LEGO does a lot better of a job portraying Batman than Ben Affleck. Number 2. The Shape of Water. Because the shape of water is clearly not really a shape. Rather, the liquid just fills up the space. Like right now, it's a cylinder in this mug. Also, because this top 5 had to have an Oscar-nominated movie. Got him! But for real though, this film is really beautiful, containing both a metaphorical and a literal fish out of water story. Guillermo del Toro contains a very tough challenge of having an audience relate to two characters that can't speak. Sally Hawkins and Octavia Spencer have an incredible performance, and the creature looks stunning thanks to makeup, sculpting, and visual effects, along with a great performance of Doug Jones, the actor. Much better. The romance is overall fantastic, and it is much better of a supernatural romance than Stockholm Syndrome's Beauty and the Beast, and a hell of a lot better love story than Twilight. Now, the Oscars are coming up, which is basically my Super Bowl, and I am rooting for The Shape of Water to win, especially for Best Picture and Best Actress. Shape of water, shape of water, shape of water. And the number 1 spot goes to The Disaster Artist. Oh, hi, Franco. I'm so sorry you didn't get nominated for Best Picture and Best Actor. You are tearing me apart, Oscars. But yeah, James Franco created a movie based on Tommy Wiseau's The Room, one of the worst films of all time, similar to Tim Burton's Ed Wood, based on Ed Wood's films that were also known as the worst film of all time. The acting is phenomenal. The story is powerful because it's not just the behind the scenes of a room. It's about the friendship between Greg and Tommy, the ups and downs within their relationship, and the overall dream of becoming stars. What really makes it number 1 on my list is how relatable it can be. As a film student, I can relate to Tommy and Greg. The anticipation and the stress when it comes to making your first film. And if it weren't for the James Franco scandal during the nomination votes, I'm pretty sure it could have been nominated and hopefully maybe even won Best Picture and Best Actor awards. Well, that's all for my top 10 best films of 2017. Got any films that you're rooting for the Oscars? Tell me in the comments below. Next time, I review a top 10 suggestion list that I've always wanted to do for a particular web series. See you next time.